The Architects of Greatness, honoring Jorge and Celia Cuccittini, the parents who gifted the world Lionel Messi. The world of football has seen many legends, but none have captured the global imagination quite like Lionel Andres Messi. To the world, he is the GOAT, greatest of all time, a magician with a football at his feet, and a beacon of humility and grace off the pitch. His trophy cabinet is unparalleled. His records seem rewriting the laws of physics, and his character remains unblemished by the corrosive nature of extreme fame. However, greatness is rarely a solo journey. While millions of fans chant Messi's name in stadium crescendos, a fundamental truth is often overlooked. The foundation of Lionel Messi's transcendent talent, impeccable ethics, and profound humanity was laid entirely by his parents, Jorge Horacio Messi and Celia Maria Cuccittini. The footballing world owes an eternal debt of gratitude to this humble couple from Rosario, Argentina, who sacrificed everything to nurture, protect, and mold the greatest footballing genius the world has ever known. To understand the magnitude of Jorge and Celia's contribution, one must first look at the environment from which Lionel emerged. Rosario in the late 1980s and 1990s was a city of passionate football, but it was also a place of economic hardship. Jorge worked as a manager at a steel factory, and Celia worked part time as a cleaner. They were a typical working class family, rich in love and community spirit, but limited in financial resources. In this modest setting, Jorge and Celia did not just raise children, they cultivated a sanctuary of core values. Long before Lionel dribbled past professional defenders, his parents taught him the value of hard work, respect, and resilience. They created a family anchor that kept Lionel grounded, ensuring that even as his supernatural abilities began to manifest at Grandoli and Newell's Old Boys, he remained a boy who valued family, honesty, and humility above all else. The first true test of their parental devotion came with a diagnosis that could have shattered any family's dreams. At just 10 years old, Lionel was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. The treatment was expensive, costing hundreds of dollars a month, a sum that the family's modest income and local clubs could not realistically sustain. It is at this critical juncture that the heroism of Jorge and Celia truly shines. Faced with a medical and financial wall, they refused to surrender their son's future. Jorge worked tirelessly, exhausted every avenue, and fought against bureaucratic indifference to secure a trial for Lionel at FC Barcelona. Celia, meanwhile, maintained the emotional stability of the home, comforting a young boy who had to endure painful daily needle injections into his legs. Their sacrifice was not merely financial, it was an exhausting, soul testing demonstration of parental love that refused to let adversity dictate their child's destiny. Moving across the Atlantic Ocean to Barcelona in 2000 was a massive leap of faith that fractured the family geographically and emotionally. Celia stayed behind in Rosario for a time with Lionel's siblings to maintain a sense of stability for the rest of the family, while Jorge accompanied Lionel to Spain. The pain of separation was immense. Jorge became Lionel's father, coach, manager, protector, and best friend in a strange, cold European city where success was not guaranteed. He bore the weight of uncertainty, dealing with the intense pressure of Barcelona's youth academy while ensuring his son felt safe and loved. Celia, despite the distance, remained the spiritual heartbeat of Lionel's life, filling him with Argentine warmth and reminding him of his roots during their long distance phone calls. The sheer emotional resilience required by Jorge and Celia during these wilderness years is a testament to their extraordinary character. They sacrificed their own comfort and family unity so that Lionel could have a chance to heal and play. As Lionel Messi blossomed into a global superstar, the role of his parents transitioned from physical protectors to guardians of his soul. The football industry is notorious for exploiting young talent, drowning them in sudden wealth and distorting their values. Yet, Messi never fell victim to these pitfalls. This is entirely due to the protective shield constructed by Jorge and Celia. Jorge took charge of Lionel's business affairs, shielding his son from the predatory nature of sports agents and corporate sharks, allowing Lionel to focus strictly on his art. Celia ensured that the wealth and adulation never altered the boy she raised. Every summer, Lionel returned to Rosario, to the same neighborhood, eating his mother's favorite schnitzel, Milanesa, living a life completely detached from the Hollywood glamour that often ruins athletes. Jorge and Celia successfully built a fortress of normalcy around a boy who was being worshipped like a god by millions. Furthermore, the world rightly admires Lionel Messi for his exemplary character, sportsmanship, and philanthropic efforts through the Leo Messi Foundation. He is a man who rarely reacts to provocations, honors his opponents, and uses his wealth to build hospitals and schools for underprivileged children. This beautiful soul did not materialize out of thin air. It is the direct reflection of Celia's maternal gentleness and Jorge's structured integrity. They taught him that talent is a gift from God, but character is a choice. By witnessing his parents' lifelong work ethic and kindness toward their neighbors in Rosario, Lionel internalized a deep sense of social responsibility. When we praise Messi for his humility, we are indirectly praising the quiet, dignified examples set by Jorge and Celia throughout their lives. In conclusion, the history of football cannot be written without Lionel Messi, but the story of Lionel Messi cannot be understood without Jorge and Celia Cuccittini. They are the silent, ultimate architects behind the golden era of modern football. They did not just give the world an athlete, they gave the world an icon of hope, a model of humility, and a masterclass in human decency. Every breathtaking goal, every Ballon d'Or, and the iconic World Cup victory in Qatar are all monuments to the sacrifices made by a factory worker and a cleaning lady from Rosario. The global football community owes Jorge and Celia an immeasurable debt of gratitude. Thank you, Jorge and Celia, for your endless sacrifices, your unwavering faith, and your fierce protection. Thank you for giving us Lionel Messi.